Magandang buhay mga bata! Tara, samahan ninyo akong matuto kasama si
Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you! Matatag Curriculum, PE and Health, Grade 4, Quarter 1, Lessons 7 to 8. Our topic for today is about physical activity participation target games. This is Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Learning competencies. Perform physical activities using target game concepts with agility, balance, coordination, and speed for active and healthy living. A. Locomotor skills by avoiding an object or obstacles, and B. Manipulative skills by sending or propelling an object to an intended area. Lesson objectives. First, explain the background of the games. Second, develop accuracy and control. And last, learn how to focus and aim. Let's guess the picture below. What game is this? The first one is golf. Second is dart. Third is batuhan bola. And the fourth one is bowling. Do you experience playing these games? That's nice. Let's have the following questions. First, what are the games or sports you see in the picture? Second, how many persons did you see playing the games? And third, what are the common objectives of all the games in the picture? Share your answer to your classmates. Activity number 2, dance and freeze. In this activity, everyone dances as the music plays. When the music stops, each player must freeze immediately and hold the position according to the movement that the teacher will show. If the students mistakenly execute the wrong position, they will be out. The last student who remain dancing wins the activity. Here's the suggested movement. Number 1, raise the right foot with arms. Number 2, both hands touch the toes. Number 3, feet apart with arms sideward. And number 4, sit and reach the toes. Here's the processing questions. Number 1, what did you observe with the movements? Number 2, can you execute them all and why? Number 3, among all the movements, which find you hard to execute? Unlocking content area vocabulary. First, we have physical fitness. Physical fitness can be defined as a general state of health and well-being, or more specifically, as the ability to perform physical activities associated with daily life with vigor and alertness and without getting overly tired. Next is health-related components. A well-balanced exercise program should include activities that address all of the health-related components of fitness. Aerobic activities develop cardiorespiratory endurance and burn calories to aid in achieving a healthy body composition. The third one is skill-related components. It is associated with athletic competition but should be considered in the overall fitness of all individuals. These components are pertaining with the athletic ability of an individual, physical fitness and its component. The fourth one is target games. Target games are those in which players send an object, such as a ball or dart, towards a target area. Sometimes, this may also involve avoiding obstacles, defending, guarding, or blocking the path of the opposition's ball to stop them from scoring. The fifth one is locomotor skills. The skills used by an individual to move from one place to another. These skills include rolling, balancing, sliding, jogging, running, leaping, jumping, hopping, dodging, galloping, and skipping. What is physical fitness? What are the components of physical fitness? Let's have an activity. Answer this in your notebook. Health and fitness word search. Write the words from the word bank under the correct pictures and then find them in the grid below. Here's the grid. Answer this in your notebook. Let us talk about our first topic, movement concept. Physical fitness can be defined as a general state of health and well-being, or more specifically, as the ability to perform physical activities associated with daily life with vigor and alertness and without getting overly tired. Physical fitness requires consistent conditioning, which can be achieved through leisure activities or structured activities. Physical fitness measures are closely allied with disease prevention and health promotion. Thus, it is common and appropriate to measure components of physical fitness before preventive and rehabilitative programs. Physical fitness can be modified through regular physical activity and exercise. Physical fitness components have been shown to have a significant positive relationship with enhanced outcomes in physical activity, including sports participation. Health-related components. Health-related components of physical fitness are crucial for good health because they determine an individual's ability to perform daily activities with energy and without undue fatigue. They also reflect the capacity to lower the risk of developing hypokinetic diseases, often referred to as Physiological fitness. These components play a key role in overall health and well-being. The 5 areas of health-related fitness are: number 1, cardiovascular endurance. Number 2, muscular strength. Number 3, muscular endurance. Number 4, flexibility. Number 5, body composition. Let's have it one by one. The first one is cardiovascular endurance. Cardiovascular endurance is the ability to perform exercises at moderate to vigorous intensities for a prolonged period. Examples of activities that benefit from good cardio endurance include walking, jogging, swimming, cycling, and other sports that require continuous movement. Second is muscular strength. Muscular strength is how much force your muscles can exert or how heavy weights they can lift. To ensure well-rounded muscular strength, it's important to prioritize muscular strength training of all major muscles groups like legs, arms, core, shoulders, back, and hips. Third is muscular endurance. Muscular endurance is the ability of your muscles to sustain exercise for some time. Example activities are weight training, isometric exercise, longer duration training. The fourth one is flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to move muscles and joints through a full range of motion. Example of activities such as gymnastics, dance, and martial arts. Reaching the top shelf of a cupboard or bending down to pick up something from the ground. The fifth one is body composition. Body composition is your body's ratio of fat mass to fat-free mass like muscle and bone. Example activities: waist circumference, waist to hip ratio, bioelectrical impedance analysis or BIA, and etc. Skill-related fitness. It is also known as performance-related fitness components. It is associated with athletic competition but should be considered in the overall fitness of all individuals. These components pertain to the athletic ability of an individual. There are 6 components of physical fitness: balance, coordination, power, agility, speed, and reaction time. Let's have it one by one. Number 1 is balance. Balance is the ability of an individual to maintain their line of gravity within their base of support. It can be classified into static and dynamic. Number 2 is coordination. Coordination is the ability to use the senses, such as sight and hearing, together with body parts in performing motor tasks smoothly and accurately. The alternate hand wall toss test is one of the tests via which coordination can be assessed. Example movement, finger to nose test. Number 3 is power. It is the rate at which one can exert maximal force. Vertical jump test and hop test are some examples of power testing for lower extremity. A medicine ball throw test can be used to assess upper extremity power. Example movement, vertical jump test, and medicine ball throw test. Number 4 is agility. Agility is defined as a rapid whole body movement with change of velocity or direction in response to a stimulus. It performs a series of explosive power movements in a rapid succession in opposing directions. Example, movement reaction time. Number 5 is speed. It relates to the ability to perform a movement within a short period. Speed combined with strength will provide power and force. The sprint test is one example of a test that can be used to examine a person's speed. Example movement, 40-meter sprint. Number 6 is reaction time. Reaction time is the amount of time it takes for an individual to respond to a stimulus. It is a crucial component of physical fitness that measures how quickly you can react to changes in your environment, such as catching a ball or starting a sprint when a signal is given. Efficient reaction time is essential for performance in many sports and activities where quick responses can make a significant difference. For our second topic, it is about movement skills. Fundamental movement skills. Fundamental movement skills, or FMS, are a specific set of gross motor skills that involve different body parts. These skills are the building blocks for more complex skills that children will learn throughout their lives. They help children take part in games, sports, and recreational activities. Lesson activity, relay race. Number 1, divide the children into groups of 3 to 4 children and have them sit as a relay team behind a cone. Number 2, set up a second cone for each team 8 to 12 meters away. Number 3, do relay races using locomotion skills such as the following. First, crab walk. Second, army crawl. Third, hop on one foot. And fourth, jump using 2 feet. Number 4, each child performs the locomotion movement as far as the cone, and then they run back to their team and sit down. Number 5, first team to finish wins the race. Fundamental movement skills are important to the motor development of children's physical, cognitive, and social growth. There are 4 categories in which the fundamental skills fit. For under 5s, stability and balance, manipulative, locomotor, movement, and body awareness. For over 5s, we just focus on stability and balance, manipulative, and locomotor skills, as we would hope they have a good awareness of their body by then. Let's talk about stability and balance. Stability skills relate to the body's ability to gain or maintain balance either when still or moving. Here's example activity. Single leg stands. How to do it? Stand on one leg, keeping the other leg slightly raised or bent. Hold the position for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then switch legs. Next, we have planks. How to do it? Get into a push-up position but rest on your forearms instead of your hands. Keep your body in a straight line from head to heels and hold the position for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Next, we have manipulative. Manipulative skills are the skills we need for moving balls and objects around. Examples of manipulative is dribbling. Dribbling involves controlling and moving a ball with a series of repetitive touches, typically used in sports like basketball and soccer. Next, we have locomotion. Locomotor skills require moving from one location to another. Example, crawling, walking, running, jumping, skipping, etc. Examples, walking, the most basic form of locomotion where one foot is in contact with the ground at all times. It is the foundation for more complex movement skills. Next is jumping, the act of propelling oneself off the ground using the legs. It is essential for activities like basketball, volleyball, and various athletic movements. Next, we have movement and body awareness. Movement and body awareness is the understanding of what my body is like and how I move with it. First, movement and body awareness. Improve awareness of different body parts and their functions. Second, spatial awareness activities. Improve navigation skills and spatial orientation. Third, language activities. Combine language skills with body awareness. Next is the locomotor movement skills. Locomotor movement skills are those in which the body is moved in one direction or a combination of directions from one point to another. Activities such as walking, jogging, moving forwards, backward, side shuffling, skipping, running, jumping, hopping, and leaping are considered fundamental locomotion movements. Locomotor movement skills. Locomotor movement skills are probably the most basic and important category of fundamental movement skills that a child requires to play rugby. The player must be able to move around the pitch and they use a variety of the different locomotor movement patterns mentioned above to achieve these. Here are the examples. The square drill. The square drill, the player accelerates forward, side shuffles, back pedals, and side shuffles again. This covers a lot of the locomotor skills or rugby in a simple drill. Next is follow the leader. One player is the leader, one is the follower. The follower should mirror the actions of the leader as they jog, run, sidestep, etc. Next, we have manipulative skills. Manipulative skills involve moving or using an object with the hands or feet to achieve a goal or complete a task. For fine motor skills, that object might be a pencil or button. For gross motor skills, the object might be sporting equipment or toys such as bats, balls, rackets, or jump ropes. These skills are also sometimes called object control skills. Here are the types of manipulative skills. In the gross motor area, these skills include bouncing, catching, dribbling, moving a ball with the feet as in soccer, kicking or rolling, lifting, pushing and pulling, the object might be a wheeled toy, striking such as swinging a baseball bat or golf club to hit a ball. And last is throwing. Manipulative skills, activities like pencil tracing, stacking coins, and playing checkers, by contrast, require fine motor skills. Games to develop skills. To help develop and fine-tune these skills, you can also participate with your child in activities like these at home. Number 1 is bowling. Start with large, lightweight pins such as empty 2-liter soda bottles. Then move to smaller plastic bottles, add weight to large bottles, or use a kid's bowling set. Number 2 is kick it. Have kids practice kicking with a large beach ball or soft foam ball. Challenge them to kick with their preferred foot, then switch to their another foot. See if they can kick their ball from a spot you choose and hit a wall. Gradually, move them farther from the wall. You can also hold up a jump rope and see if they can kick the ball over it or under it. Number 3 is over the line. Divide a playing area in half with a line. Use chalk, tape, or a long jump rope to mark it. Put an equal number of soft items like scarves, rolled up socks, beach balls, or lightweight bean bags. On either side of the line, have kids toss the objects over the line. Onto the floor, on the opposite side, they can then switch sides and throw the items back over the line to other side. Make it more fun by using small stuffed toy, animals, and pretending they are crossing a river. Number 4, strike up the band. Young children often enjoy practicing striking by drumming on pots and pans with spoons, or playing with other musical instruments. Let's have the third topic, game concepts. Activity number 1, target a hula hoop. Materials, 6 hoops and 6 balls. Instructions, choose an area with a wall. The floor is marked 2 meters, 4 meters, and 6 meters away from the hole. And then, do the following. Number 1, position several hoops on the floor near the wall 1 meter away from each other. Number 2, students from 6 lines facing a hoop. Number 3, each group is given a ball. Number 4, as the signal is given, the player runs to the 2-meter mark and shoots the ball on the hoop. The other players follow targeting the hoop by shooting. Number 5, players repeat the procedure getting a farther distance each time. And number 6, a player who cannot throw the ball inside the hoop is eliminated in the challenge. Let's have another activity. It's bingo. Instructions: below is a card that shows some situation about your health concern. Answer the situation using a pattern: line, box, and diagonal. The first to complete the pattern wins the bingo. What are target games? And give examples of target games. Let's answer these questions in this lesson. What are target games? Target games are activities in which children send an object towards a target. Some target games might also involve avoiding different obstacles, blocking the opposition's thrown object, or defending. Target games are usually included in children's activities because they teach them new skills and strategies that they can use in their day-to-day lives. They will learn how to appreciate the distance, protect the shoot or the shot, and decide on different ways of throwing. What are values displayed in playing target games? Target games will also teach your little learners a wide variety of values such as: first is teamwork. In order to win in some target games, children will have to learn how to cooperate. Second is discipline. Just like any other game, target games have rules, and respecting them will underline the importance of discipline. Third is confidence. Anyone can become good at any game with practice. So, just by playing a target games, children will start to believe more in themselves and the fact that they can make it. Fourth is patience. On the same note, children will learn that skills are learned through practice and that practice takes time. Success won't come overnight. Fifth is decision making. Children will learn the ability to think fast and make a decision about what they want to do next in the game. This can be a first step in learning how to make decisions easier. Transferable skills that are common to target games are: transferable skills that are common to target games are: first, players must be able to demonstrate hand-eye and foot-eye accuracy. Second, players aim and shoot and throw or roll, etc. for a goal target. Third, players utilize the synchronization of numerous body. Fourth, both gross and fine motor skills are used to alter the flight or path of the released object. Now, let us understand tamaang bola. Do you know how to play tamaang bola? Tamaang bola. In English, dodgeball. Dodgeball was originally played in Africa over 200 years ago. But instead of the fun, jocular game that is today, it was a deadly game. Instead of using soft, rubber balls, the game was played with large rocks or putrefied matter. And it was used as an intense workout for the tribes, where each competitor would attempt to hit their opponent with a rock to injure or incapacitate them. Once a player was hit, they would attempt to be pelted by further rocks to finish them off. It would be the responsibility of the teammates of the fallen competitor to try and defend him and force the attackers off with their own rocks. This would said to be a great way to encourage the tribesmen to work together during skirmishes against other tribes, working to take out the weak and protect their own. A missionary by the name of Dr. James H. Carlisle saw what was happening and was intrigued by the agility and ruthlessness of the tribal men, as well as by the solidarity and heart they were showing. He spent many hours watching the men and became besotted with the ritual that he saw daily. When he made his way back to England via Europe, he showed some of his pupils what he had seen. The European men who tried what Carlisle was telling them found they didn't have the natural agility or accuracy to dodge or throw. And with Dr. Carlisle continuously moving on, he was not able to encourage the people he spoke to about the sport to carry it on. It was only when he returned to his teachings at St. Mary's College in Norfolk that he was able to transform the vicious training into an all-inclusive game. Materials and equipment needed are the following. First, uniform for offensive and defensive teams if necessary. Second, at least 3 to 5 balls. Third, there is no fixed area or dodgeball. How to play the game? To play batuhang bola or dodgeball, you must first gather 2 teams and get a ball. The first team should stand in the middle of the court, while the second team should be divided into 2 and should stand on both sides of the first team. The second team should hit the players of the first team. If you hit a player, that player is out. If that player catches the ball, his team will gain a life and can be used to revive another player or be used to continue to play if the ball hits him or her. You will win the game if you have hit all the players and none of the players are left. Rules of Tamaang Tao, the Pinoy version of dodgeball. Number 1. The same mechanics for dodgeball apply. The offense team will try to hit the defense team, while the defense team will try to dodge the balls that the offense team will throw. Number 2. A toss coin will decide which team plays on defense and offense. Number 3. Half the players of the offensive team shall stand on opposite starting lines 10 meters away from each other. Number 4, the defensive team shall disperse to the area between the starting lines. Number 5, for the first 2 minutes, the offensive team shall try to hit the opponent using only one softball, while the defensive team shall try to dodge the ball. The other ball will be used after the first 2 minutes lapse. Number 6, a player who is hit will be eliminated in the game. Number 7, a defense player may opt to catch a ball and score a second life either for himself, or for a teammate who was eliminated. Number 8, in the event that a defensive player goes beyond the field, one member will be eliminated. Number 9, the game ends when an agreed time lapses 3 minutes. Number 10, the team who got the least number of eliminated members within 3 minutes wins. Games and skills. In this game, we can develop skills related fitness, components such as speed, agility, reaction time, and power. Sports skills can be developed by throwing, just like in baseball, pitchers, and running athletics. This is from History of Dodgeball, Go Mammoth of 2016. Learning Activity Sheet. Lesson title or topic, Physical Activity Participation, Target Games. Activity number 1, Movement Concept and Movement Skills. The objectives. At the end of the lesson, the student recognizes the value of participation in physical activities. Materials needed, paper and pen. Instructions, fill in the blanks. Directions, choose the correct answer from the words inside the box and write your answer on the space provided of each sentence. Here are the choices: health-related components, skill-related components, target games, locomotor skills, physical fitness, manipulative skills, agility, balance, flexibility, muscular strength. Number 1, can be defined as a general state of health and well-being, or more specifically as the ability to perform physical activities associated with daily life with vigor and alertness and without getting overly tired, is called physical fitness. Number 2, blank determines the ability of an individual to perform daily activities with vigor and demonstrate the capacities associated with low risk of premature development of hypokinetic diseases. The answer is health-related components. Number 3, blank is known for how much force your muscles can exert or how heavy weights they can lift. The answer is muscular strength. Number 4, it is also known as performance-related fitness components. It is associated with athletic competition but should be considered in the overall fitness of all individuals, is called skill-related components. Number 5, blank is the ability of an individual to maintain their line of gravity within their base of support. It can be classified into static and dynamic. The answer is balance. Number 6. Blank are the skills we need for moving balls and objects around. The answer is manipulative skills. Number 7. The ability to move muscles and joints through a full range of motion is called flexibility. Number 8. Blank are those in which players send an object such as a ball or dart towards a target area. The answer is target games. Number 9. Blank the skills used by an individual to move from one place to another. The answer is locomotor skills. Number 10. Blank is defined as a rapid whole body movement with change of velocity or direction in response to a stimulus. It performs a series of explosive power movements in a rapid succession in opposing directions. The answer is agility. Good job! For activity letter B, physical activity engagement, tumbang preso. Here's the mechanics of the game. The setup is at the start. The players will throw their pamato or slipper and the one whose pamato is the farthest from the line or can will be the it. Number 1, the game is played by placing the can in the designated spot, usually at the center where the it or the taya must guard and stand near the can. Number 2, the rest of the players has to hit the can with their slipper for about 2 meters away. Number 3, only when the can is down can players retrieve their thrown slippers without getting tagged by the it. Number 4, when the it has tagged another player, he or she will be the next it. Number 5, the game is in single elimination. Once the first student tagged by the taya, he or she will automatically eliminated, and the next student who tagged will be the next taya. Here's the criteria for grading. Number of times being tagged, 0 to 2, your score will be 20. 3 to 4, your score will be 15. 5 to 7, your score will be 10. 8 to 10, your score will be 5. 11 or more, your score will be 0. Good luck and enjoy! And that wraps up today's lesson. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in.